Hey guys, Abby here, and I wanted to talk about some of the conversation that's been happening about rice on the page. And that's, people asking about what rice I eat and what rice other people eat and what's the healthiest choice to make. So, rice, when we talk about rice, there's two main kinds of rice, white rice and brown rice, that people eat. So, white rice was just once brown rice, and what happened was that rice was bleached and processed, where the three parts of rice, the endosperm, the germ, and the bran, the bran and the germ were removed and really just leave mostly the endosperm. So, where most of the nutrients are found in rice is in the outer areas of the rice, the germ and the bran, and that's where the fiber and the B vitamins are. And whenever we process that rice to make it white, we remove most of those nutrients. So, generally speaking, brown rice is the healthier option. It's the most nutrient dense option. What comes into mind about brown rice, though, is everyone's concern about arsenic and arsenic levels in rice. So let's just clear that up first, that there's arsenic in all rice, okay? Whether you have white rice or brown rice, there's going to be arsenic present in that rice. It's just white rice has a little bit less arsenic because of the processed nature of the grain. So when looking at rice and considering arsenic content, what I really want you to consider is just how much rice you're eating and how often you're eating rice. So a serving of rice per the box is about a cup in the size of your fist, okay? So I personally don't think that that's a serving of rice. That's not what I'd tell you to eat. I would tell you to eat like half of that, okay? So if you're having a half a cup of rice and you're having that twice a week, I don't think you need to be concerned about the arsenic levels in rice, okay? So for me personally, I eat brown rice, and that rice, we don't have rice more than twice a week in our house or a rice-containing product. I also buy brown rice pasta and things like that. So when looking at anything with rice, I just want you to think about having it in proportion, a couple times a week, and that's completely fine to do. But when we talk about arsenic, there are ways to kind of lower the arsenic levels in your rice that you're preparing for yourself. And you can do that by, one, rinsing your rice before you cook it. And the second way is by cooking it in a lot of water. So most times, traditionally, we cook rice with nearly equal parts of water, and the water and the rice become one, and there's no water left when it's cooked, right? But whenever we're trying to remove the arsenic levels in rice, if we cook the rice with about 6 times more water than what the recipe calls for, which is not an exact science. Really, what it means is just there's a lot of water in your pot. We're using the water as an agent to be able to pull the arsenic away and be able to then dump that, drain out the excess water, and you can rinse your rice again with hot water, and that's going to give you the lowest amount of arsenic in your rice. But what you do need to consider at the same time when doing that is that, part of the reason why rice is nutrient dense is when we cook it in that small amount of water, all of the nutrients in the rice that come out when it's boiled are reabsorbed back into the rice. So we are going to lose some nutrient value by cooking our rice that way as well. But still, I would recommend brown rice over white rice, just like I said, a few times a week. The other thing that you consider is you could have other grains that have less arsenic in them. So other whole grains like brown rice would be quinoa, millet, amaranth. All of those have less arsenic in them naturally. So consider adding a variety of whole grains to your diet. I'd say if you are eating white rice, I would recommend you to have long grain white basmati rice is the best choice when it comes to white rice. But I'll tell you that, rice is a starch, okay? So starch, and a simple starch would be white rice, because we've kind of taken away the fiber from it, okay, which is what has to do with the glycemic index load of a particular food, and that's how fast it impacts our blood sugar. So if we're trying to have a higher fiber diet and include foods that are not going to make our blood sugar raise and lower very quickly, I would not consider white rice as a good option for you. The only time that white rice would be, I don't want to say a good choice, but the better time to eat white rice would be right after a workout, when your body's going to quickly absorb those carbs instead of letting those carbs just impact your blood sugar and then store as fat, which is what the body usually does with unused carbohydrates. So I hope that answers some of your questions regarding rice. I would encourage you to just consider really what I always talk about, and that is having a well-rounded diet. And there's nothing that you really can't have. It's just how much of it we eat and how often we eat it. So I hope that answers your questions. If you have any questions for me, just leave them below. Thanks.